Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I am the Thrift Trader, and I sell part-time, very part-time basis, if you're new to my channel. And I generally work about, let's say 10 hours a month, 10 to 15, it depends. I did list quite a bit in November, and as a result, I did really, really well in November for me. I think I made around 24 sales, including, I'm not, man, I should have added up all my stuff, but 20-something sales, including a couple Facebook Marketplace sales, but we won't worry about those. I'm just concentrating on my eBay sales right now. I did not sell any on Etsy at all. Which is weird. Last year, I sold a couple of things on Etsy, and my Etsy has just died. Starting in like later this year, I usually get at least one sale a month on there, and right now I only have like 24, 25 things on there, so you could kind of blame it on that, but it's just weird because usually something will always sell, and I think I have some pretty decent stuff on there. I'm going to add a couple things, but I'm definitely going to reassess Etsy next year. I've heard from other people that they are also experiencing some slower sales on Etsy, but that's just anecdotal. I mean, I have no, stats or anything or facts to back that up at all. Anyway, I'm going to try to go through this somewhat fast because I have so many items. This is everything I made on Etsy, on eBay this month, and I don't have any numbers in front of me. I'll try to remember as best I can to tell you what I made or what I bought these items for and what I actually got for them, because some of these I did take offers for. I've just kind of been wheeling and dealing last month. This month too, I'm trying to get some old inventory out of my my inventory closet or whatever. Anyway, so this is just a boring VHS video. I did get 7 plus the shipping for it, and I believe I paid around 50 cents at an estate sale. This is kind of when I was just picking up any VHS tape that was sealed, and I don't really do that anymore. The VHS has to be really, really good. I still love picking up VHS. It's one of my favorite things to pick up. However, I do kind of look at it a little harder. Next thing is this Dungeon magazine. I got this for $1 with a huge pickup of some D&D books. I picked up a bunch of magazines, and what's crazy with this one is that I didn't actually think it was worth all that much. I was going to lot up all the magazines I had for D&D, and just they're like dungeon. Some are dungeon magazines, some are dragon magazines, and I just kind of had a mixture. And I was rearranging my entire apartment, and my husband came along and saw this one, and he goes, "Oh, that's the final issue of Dungeon magazine." And I was like, "Oh, oh, really? You know, duh, it says it on the front cover," but I don't know, I saw that and just didn't really realize that this was the actual last copy ever, hard copy ever of this magazine. I think it did go on to be digital, but yeah, and it was bagged. It still has the original map and everything. I priced it at 40, took an offer for 25 plus the shipping, and the person was really, really happy with it. Next item is this Pan Am vintage real leather toiletry bag. I'm sure they got it on the plane. Nothing real special here. I did think the graphics were kind of cool on the front. I paid $1. I did not get 30 for it. I took an offer for 15. I was just happy to have it gone. I had it maybe a few months. This I had for quite a long time. This is one of I think the very last just regular D&D book that I had that was vintage. It was missing one of the maps, like the color map for it, and it had some discolorations. It had a cool unicorn stamp on there though. And I did get I lowered the price and lowered and lowered and lowered, and made $27 plus the shipping, and this did go media mail. So, and I think I told you I paid $1 for that. Next thing is, you're going to see several Nick Box items. This is just one of them. I've had this for several months. I kept meaning to put it on, and it just never happened. Finally, I did put it on, and it sold within like a week, I want to say. And so I'm just counting this as I paid nothing because I already had it. It comes in my Nick Box subscription box every 3 months. That box has been canceled. I think I'm getting one more out of it, and I'm done with it because it just, those boxes just turn into clutter, as I've said on my channel multiple times. But yeah, and it did have some damage just from me having it for a while. And I guess it just kept hitting stuff, and so the plastic at the front was torn away from the box. So I did get $25 plus the shipping on that, so I was still pretty happy with that price, considering it just sat around. This was a horror VHS lot that I picked up from Goodwill. I got each of these for 50 cents. So what's that? $1? No, okay, $3, and turned it into 35 with the shipping. So I'm just gonna say I made like 30 on that. It's not a bad price for all these, and some are rarer than others, but there's a couple good ones in there, like the Devil's Rejects VHS. That's not one that you see all the time, and also Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Definitely look for those. Bog Creatures is kind of on the rare side, but unfortunately no one cares about that movie. And the rest of those were just kind of filler movies. So I figured someone would like this a lot, and someone did eventually. So this is my, so far, one and only return. What's weird about it is I sold it for 15 with the shipping. I went to New York, and it was kind of torn up, and I'd had it for a while. I did pay $2 for this book, with some other music magazines that I found at a record store that was closing. Each one was $2, and so yeah, it was just kind of crappy. Like, it was like typed out on a typewriter, kind of, or had a typewriter font. It's from the 70s. Anyway, the person got it and wrote me and said, "Hey, I was really looking forward to this book. Unfortunately, when I got it, I started breaking out in hives and my nose started running." And I'm like, I don't know if they were just trying to get a return out of me, but I was like, that's fine. And actually, don't even worry about sending the book back. I don't care. It was only $15. If they sent it back, I was going to have to pay for the shipping back, and I was going to have to resell it. And there are newer versions of this book that aren't that expensive either. So I just did not want it back. Sorry, y'all. I got a phone call right in the middle of this. Sorry about that. Let's see. Okay, so I just gave her the money and said, just keep it. I just don't want to buy it. So, anyway, this next one, I shouldn't have lowered the price so much. I had it at $60 and free, free shipping, and I got it for $4, which was, I thought was pretty good. I had a Goodwill, and I thought it would sell really well for Halloween, because people kind of like Nightmare Before Christmas for both. They like it for Halloween, and it's kind of a Halloween movie and a Christmas movie. And I think I just kind of got scared because it didn't sell for Halloween, and I was like, I'm lowering the price on this. And it pretty much, not long after I lowered the price to $40, it sold, and with free shipping. So I still didn't do terrible on it. It did go like priority, so I made like $32, and like I said, spent $4. It took up a lot of space, so I was glad it was gone, but I really kind of wish I would have got more like 40, 50 or even 60. But oh well, it's gone. This was a really cool item that I had in my death pile forever. The print is just gorgeous. Like, I don't like to do a lot of clothes, but this had like baby tigers on it and adult tigers, and like this kind of, maybe, I don't know, almost like an Asian print to it. And it wasn't vintage or anything. The tag here was kind of faded. But I loved it, and it was a really good size, extra large. I could not find another extra large with this print, and I had both the pants and the top. And as soon as I listed it, it started getting attention, and within like a week, it sold for full price, 50 plus the shipping. Around Christmas time, these pajama sets will do really well, from what I understand. I mean, I haven't tested that, fully, but I just can't believe I had this. I was just like putting it off listing, and because it was kind of like a difficult item to list. And I just kept telling myself, like, why aren't you listing this? I know I can make money off of it. I did kind of pay up for this. I want to say I paid around $6 because it was a set at Goodwill. And when I saw it, I was just like, oh, this is gorgeous. And it just stuck it in my closet, and kept putting it off. So really glad I got it. I finally got it listed. And in my description, I said that this would be perfect to wear on Christmas Day while you're opening presents or whatever. Perfect for the holidays. It's kind of lounge wear. Anyway, moving on. LuLaRoe. This is my only time selling LuLaRoe, and I did kind of want like 35, but I lowered the price to like 32, and then lowered the price to $30. And someone bought it not long after I lowered it to 30 with free shipping. I did pay $4, which is more than I would recommend paying for LuLaRoe unless it's a great print. I saw when I looked these up, I was looking at the Halloween stuff at Goodwill when they first put up Halloween stuff, like the day they did it. And I was like, oh, this is a cute print. And sure enough, like, it was one of their like so-called unicorns. And I did not put unicorn in the title because I thought that might be confusing. I know a lot of people do it, but I just didn't want to. I put Halloween and Comic-Con. You can kind of wear this for both. Anyway, they were also TC, which means it's like the bigger sizing of LuLaRoe, so I think that also helped it. If it didn't have TC, I think I probably would have gotten more like 20 or 25, but I would have been happy with that. I mean, $4 isn't a whole lot to pay for, cute print. Next thing, this is nothing much. I got this for totally free. It went $6 with free shipping. Again, I, at one point, was just a sucker for any VHS that was completely sealed. And to be fair, it did sell, but it took a little while. I had this probably at least a year. This is, I would say, a bolo. And let's see, I guess it won't come up. Anyway, it had all the pieces. I got this from Goodwill. It was only $2. And normally I completely ignore all the scenets, but I saw that it was Harry Potter, and in the back of my head, I was probably thinking, like, subconsciously, oh, Harry Potter does well. So I decided to look it up, and on Amazon, this was getting some great prices. But I don't generally sell on Amazon. I'm gated for like toys during this season anyway. So it was also doing pretty well on eBay, and I had it up for $100. Someone gave me an offer for like $40, and I'm like, no, this game will easily go for at least $60. And I had best offer on it. And eventually someone just paid full price for the $80 after I lowered it to $80 from $100. And yeah, someone paid full price. But if you see this, the complete cinematic journey, do not sleep on this. It does very, very well. Even if you get it for cheap and you only want 40, it would sell in a heartbeat, But yeah, I was super happy I got so much for it, and $2 is like nothing. I bought this for $1. I had this in my Halloween haul that I did a while back, and I got this at a garage sale. I actually went garage selling with my dad, and he picked this up, and he was like, do you think this would do well? And I looked it up on Amazon at the time, and I was like, I don't know, but whatever, I'll pick it up. It just didn't have great prices on it, but what I was looking at was the used prices. If you find this used, it's probably going for around more like 10, 15. Um, but I looked it up later when I got home, and I was like, well, this is completely sealed. What are new prices going for? And they were going for a lot more. This didn't do like crazy well, but for only $1, I got 25, and actually it says free shipping on here, but I got shipping. I got the full 25 because it went to Canada, and they paid. I do not do the global shipping program anymore. I sell directly internationally, and that's been doing pretty well for me. I sold a couple international things last year and one in October. So next thing, I bought this for, I'm going to say 50 cents. I got like 3 things for $2 at this one thrift store. What was weird about this is that I think I had this in a haul. So some of you might already know this, I don't know, but I got this. I didn't even know what this was because it was flipped over. Like, all I saw was this. And I was like, oh, that looks like vintage party plates. Let me flip it over and see if it's a character or something. Because one of my newest favorite things to pick up is vintage party stuff. I don't know. I've just been on the hunt for it. And I put this on Etsy and eBay. I got some looks on Etsy. People were favoriting it, but eventually it just sold on eBay to someone in Australia. So $20 plus Australian shipping. And what's weird about this is that both of the things that I have sold to Australia have been Goosebumps items. So there must be like a huge, I don't know, Goosebumps must be a huge thing in Australia is what I'm trying to say. And they must really like the vintage items. I mean, it does pretty good in America as well, but there must be a huge following for that stuff in Australia. This thing was a Nick Box item, I think, in the first one that I got, and he took a while to sell, but Rugrats has always been popular through the years, and I think they are making like a new movie out of it. And so Spike, this is the dog of the Tommy Pickles, and so I'm basically just counting this as I paid nothing, and I made 14 plus the shipping on it. This was kind of a bad pickup. Fortunately, I picked up all of these Land Before Time videos for 10 cents a piece. Unfortunately, that was like at, over a year ago at some neighborhood garage sale, and I was like, oh, these are so cheap, and I think I saw someone selling lots of like kids VHS, and that's where I got that idea. I would never do this again. I didn't even get $15. I got 10. So I got more than my money back. I got 10 plus the shipping. And yeah, I had to put them in a box, but fortunately they go media mail, so it's not that big a deal. It's just that even when you have all of these, they just don't go for a whole lot. Like I was thinking they might go for like 25 or even 20, and they wouldn't even go for 15. But when someone gave me an offer of $10, I was happy to take it because they took up a lot of space. I was sick of seeing them because it took me a long time to even list them because I was just so mad at myself for even buying them. Next item is this Gerald vase. This is also a Nick Box item, so 0. This is when I put my entire store on a 30% off sale. So I made a ton of sales off just like that Cyber weekend. I went from Black Friday to Cyber Monday, 30% off the entire store except for like one item, and it really kickstarted some great sales. So this was 0, paid $7. I'm sorry, they paid $7 plus the shipping to New York. They were kind of like, when am I going to get this item? Um, and I told them, like, look, soon, it's gonna go out today, tomorrow, because I have my entire store on like 3-day shipping. I used to have it on 1 day, and things just got a bit hectic. So I'm going to review that probably in the new year, but for right now, unless someone wants me to ship it out the next day, or if, like, it sells on a weekend, it just depends on my work schedule right now. So, um, anyway, there, I don't even think it's been delivered yet because it went out today and the business was closed. Another Nick Box item. So I paid $0. It sold for $17.49 with 30% off discount plus the shipping. So I hope they like those. They're both just bobbleheads, and I got each one in a different box. And Hey Arnold isn't really one of the things I really like to collect, so I thought someone would really like those together. This is something, I have this video that I've been meaning to put up. It's, my friend Rob gave me a bunch of, videos. I'm running out of steam here. A bunch of, like, Loot Crate stuff, and, I saw that this was going for good money, so I read through the book really quickly, and, I put it up, and it didn't sell for as much as I was thinking. I thought it might sell for, like, 15, 20. But Loot Crate items, even if they're one of a kind, I think this was like a special Loot Crate version of this too, so you can get it outside of Loot Crate. Anyway, $12.59. I didn't pay anything for it. It was a gift, plus media mail, so I only had it for maybe a couple months. Then there's these polar fleece pants. They're vintage Cabela's. I had a lot of interest on these but I had them on best offer, $50 with best offer. Someone kept giving me like lowball offers. They went from like $15, then $20, then $25, and I think someone finally, like the second person that was sending me offers, sent me an offer for $27. And I counter offered. I was like, look, I can wait on these. I have some interest. If a lot of times when I send a counter offer to people, I never hear back. So I was fine with that if that happened. I sent a counter offer for $30. I was like, I at least want $30 for these. And the person took it really quickly, and I got the shipping for these. And I bought these on the Halloween rack when all that came out, and Goodwill just had so much good stuff for the Halloween stuff. It's like they take their best cool stuff and they just save it all year. Like, I kind of hate that now that I know that. So when you know that the Halloween stuff is going out for Goodwill, check it out, because some really cool vintage weird stuff goes out around that time, and I picked up several items, as you've seen. Every time I would pull these out, my husband would say, "Are those Fred Flintstone pants?" So, which is what I thought they were at first when I first saw them, and then I realized, oh, these are like vintage hunting pants, and I don't even see these like new, with like these, polka dot type pattern. Anyway, someone from Minnesota got these. That's my Minnesota accent. And so I'm sure they're using them to stay warm out there. It's probably freezing, unlike here in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. So yeah, I paid $4 for those, got $30. These are some tarot cards. They weren't vintage or anything. They're the only tarot cards I ended up finding when I was looking for all that Halloween stuff. And I did pay like $2 for these, so this wasn't a great buy. I thought these would go for more like $20, $25. The girl that sold it to me, she was like, I barely even used them, but there was so much damage to like the book. And like, did a dog get a hold of it? It was just damage to the outside. And I didn't really see all that until I took it home, and I was like, oh no. I mean, the insides were perfect, very cute, pretty cards. Um, but they're like anime type, manga stuff. Um, but like, I couldn't believe just how destroyed the box was. I could have cropped a lot of this white out, by the way. Oh, that was in the main picture. Okay. But yeah, just a lot of damage. I got 14 plus the shipping because this was rather heavy. Oh, just got a sale. Oh, on a nice one too. Anyway, okay, this one I actually lost money on. I did not get $7. I very stupidly paid $5 for this because I thought somebody could use these. This is like a vintage Handycam DVD RWs for it, so they're rewritables. And they're Sony, so I thought that it would do really well. And what I should have done was, I didn't realize until I got home, but this top half was cut off. And what I should have done is take out all of these discs and just put them, take them out of the package and just sell them together like that. It would have saved me a little on shipping, and it just would have been easier overall. It wasn't hard to photograph. It was just 2 photos, but I don't know. I think next time I do something like this, I'll just take them out. Anyway, I got $5 whole for them, which is what I paid, which is super sad. And so I basically lost money on this. Not my proudest moment. And next to last thing is just these Clarissa stickers. Again, they came in a Nick box, but I thought they were cool stickers, but I just couldn't use them. I had them on Etsy, and they got so much attention on Etsy. I realized I did have them up. They were kind of expensive on Etsy. I had them up for like $10 at one point. Then I reduced the price there, and eventually I put them up on. I lowered the price on eBay to $5. Lowered the price on Etsy as well, but when I had my sale, they went to $3.49, but this person basically paid $7 for like what, 4, 5, 6 stickers. So that's kind of funny. But yeah, maybe I should have put free shipping on this. That might have helped the sale, but anyway, I'm not unhappy about that. And these were just free with my Nickbox subscription. And my last item, thanks for sticking with me. I tried to make this fast as possible, but this was like my favorite thing that sold. It's like an old Topstone mask. I'm pretty sure it's Topstone anyway. The hands themselves say Topstone, but the mask itself only said like Taiwan. And I'm pretty sure no one even like, oh, that's a scary photo right there. But inside, what you're seeing here is like the plastic inside the mask. So this looked kind of brand new. There was some cracking in the plastic, but what you do is just take out that plastic and it's just, latex. But either someone saved that plastic piece, or it was never even worn by anyone. The back had like a bunch of black hair. It was just a creepy mask, but I couldn't figure out if it was for a a warlock or what it was for, or a witch. I couldn't really figure out what it was. It was just like a creepy old man mask and hands. But so I did get $48.99. People kept messaging me about this. What's weird is they kept wanting to pay me later. I got one guy, or one person, I don't know if it was a guy, they asked if they could buy it now and then pay like Monday. And I said, no, I just put it up. I would rather it sell. Then I got another person the next day saying, hey, I can buy this right now, but I can pay you on Thursday. And at that point, that was like a Saturday. So that would have been a week where this would not have gotten it's payment. And I'm like, no way, people, like, I had 4 watchers in, like, not even a day for this. So, anyway, what ended up happening was, the first guy messaged me back and was like, hey, I can pay you right now for $45. And I'm like, no, there's so much interest on, someone's gonna pay me, the $49 plus shipping, definitely. And so the second person that messaged me ended up buying this. They ended up paying on the last day of the sale, which was that Monday. So they barely got it in. I do believe I could have got a little bit more for this, and next time I probably will. I just wanted to get some sales rolling. So I'm a little bit sad that this sold for so low, but it's cool. I made money on it, and I paid $20 not just for this, but for a whole Halloween lot of stuff. And so this paid for that entire lot. So everything else that I make from that is just extra. So anyway, that's my last item. I really hope you enjoyed my sales video. The only other thing I did was I sold like a Maxine cookie jar. If you know Maxine, she's like a Hallmark character. She's kind of salty and bitter. But I sold that for $10. I just had that around the house. And I sold a giant Halloween blow mold for $40, like within a couple days of me putting it on Facebook Marketplace. So these were kind of neat little extra sales, straight cash. So anyway, thank you for watching and putting up with this long video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks again for watching. Bye.